talent-wise, I don't think that they have the talent, the on-paper talent, necessarily the game changer guys, the speedy guys, the game records, the guys that are future first. I don't think they have a heap of those guys. But I do believe Alabama has that. When you look at their offensive roster, you look at the offensive line came into the season preseason ranked number 1. While all of the experts that you all love to give so much credit for, this offensive line has performed to the standard. They have continued to, progress as the season has continued. There's a narrative out there that it's the offensive line's problem that we went through that drought that we did. I disagree totally. That'll be a different topic for a different day. But sitting here and I'm sitting here and I'm thinking and appreciate everybody for being in the chat on YouTube side. We got 54 in the chat on YouTube. Please continue to run the likes up. Thank y'all for getting us to the 25 like goal, man. Y'all continuing to help us grow every time y'all do that. So give yourself a hand clap in the chat. Looking at this game offensively, we've established that, there's a different caliber of skill sets and talent on roster, right? So for all the narratives that this defense is going to outman and dominate and do these things, that nobody would have said that coming into the season. So let's just keep that context in mind. Now let's make another point. I want to present to the court. I want to present to the people, to the Bama Nation, and to the experts. Has anybody factored in the total ranking of total offensive rankings for the teams that Indiana has faced for a majority of their schedule? And I particularly want to talk about the October stretch when they started to become the most dominant defense per se, right? Let's look at it. I'm gonna pull these stats up and I'm gonna read them off to y'all real quick. Total points given up to these teams, and I'm gonna say the teams and the amount of points that they gave up to these teams, and then I want to talk about these teams overall average points for the season. It's just amazing to me. They gave up 14 points first game of the season to Old Dominion. No big deal. Blowout game, little cupcake startup. Kennesaw State got 3 field goals on them. No big deal. Indiana State, junior college, basically, they shut them out. Illinois, a team that was, picking up some steam going into the Indiana game, only held them to 10 points. But overall for the season, Illinois only averaged right at 21 points a game. Struggled against defenses. No defense ranked inside the top 50 that Illinois played, which was only 2, right? No, there was 3 defenses that they played inside the top 50. And against those teams, they also were only able to muster up a total, the highest point total was 17 points. So Illinois wasn't destined to be a good offense. Indiana held them to 10 points. They played at Iowa. We know what Iowa does offensively traditionally. Nothing's changed at Iowa. 15 points Iowa was able to score at home against Indiana. Oregon, 20 points. Oregon's a viable offense. I think playing at Oregon, going in and competing defensively on the road against Oregon. And I believe there was some weather issues there too. They were able to out-physical Oregon. I never thought Oregon was a physical team. I felt like that would be their struggle going into this new conference anyway. So still in that transition offensively, not able to maintain. Michigan State, UCLA, Maryland, all teams held under 14 points. Then Penn State comes in and pushes them to the wire. We remember that game, last minute victory for Indiana. They won that in the last second to keep from going into overtime. Wisconsin, they held Wisconsin to 7. Purdue, they held Purdue to 3. And then again, Ohio State, they beat Ohio State, but they also struggled offensively. Pretty evenly matched game. I look at the average points for all those teams throughout their season past the Indiana game. The highest scoring team was Oregon, right? Oregon averaging right at 34 points a game, I believe. Oregon was averaging coming into the conference championship weekend is what the stat was saying. So you look at that, and then everybody else outside Ohio State, nobody is averaging 21 points a game. Nobody. The closest is 19. They play Michigan? No, they didn't play Michigan. I was about to say Michigan was another team in that conference that averaged over 21. But has Indiana seen a defense or an offense with enough firepower to truly compete with them for 60 minutes? And when I look at those type of stats, I would like to say that I don't think they have, which leads me to believe that some of these law of averages when it comes to skill level of competition is going to play out in this game. Indiana defense, 141 points allowed total over 13 games, chat. 141 total points allowed over 13 games. There are people that want to believe that this is a really dominant defense. I don't understand what they expect when you have a total, let's say a total average offenses. Nobody's averaging over 17 points. So even if they were giving up 17 points a game, let's say they were giving up 17 points a game. This Indiana defense, if you were to add up the averages, giving up yards per carry, everything given up, double up the numbers, they would be an average defense in the SEC. I want to do a comparison. Let's look at some of the offenses that Alabama has faced this season. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna pull the schedule up. You look at SEC offenses that Alabama has faced. Vanderbilt came into the game averaging 31 points a game, 31.3 points a game, right? Missouri came into the game averaging 34 points a game. LSU came into the game averaging 21, right? And then we saw how their offense struggled. Oklahoma was a struggling offense, still averaging 24 points a game. Like, we've seen more competitive offenses and defenses, and I mean just overall skill level. We've seen it on a more consistent basis. Who's more conditioned for this matchup here, this game? If you start to just consider those factors, I want to know in the chat right now. Here's the question coming out of that topic right there. The matchup, Alabama's offense versus Alabama defense. What averages or what stat makes you believe that Alabama's offense can't compete with Indiana?